It's time now for our Athlete of the Week, and it's presented by Diamond Point and Sauk Center. And with us today is a Sauk Center athlete. This is Becca Weir. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. Let's start out and tell us about your family, okay?
I have my parents, Rick and Sherry Weir, and then family too.
Yeah.
All right. I have my sister, Amanda. She goes to MSUM up in Moorhead. And then I have a brother, Trevor. He's a sophomore. And my little sister, Lisa, she's a sixth grader.
I see her all the time. She's at everything, isn't she?
Yeah, she comes to like every single game with my parents. She just gets dragged along.
Tell us about other activities in school. What are you involved in?
Well, I'm obviously in volleyball, and then I play basketball, and I'm in the Captains and Leaders Club.
Anything outside of school, too?
Not really.
Okay, all right. You know, you play volleyball, you play basketball. Let's talk about volleyball first. What position do you play? And as you play, can you describe for us what are some of the things that you do out there that's kind of expected of you while you're on that volleyball team?
Well, I'm a middle, and I mostly hit and block. That's what my position is. And I also try and just keep the team positive if we lose a few points in a row, or just keep them going.
Let me ask you this. Right before the serve and you're up in front in the middle, I see you doing a lot of pointing, a lot of talking and instructing. What's going on with that?
I normally call out the 3 hitters or 2 hitters, and then I'll point out which girl is the setter and if she's front row or back row, so we know if we should watch for the dump or if we should jump with her or not when she jumps. As
you play the volleyball positions, you're middle, but yet you go to the outside. You're much more so left side, right side. Can you describe for us what are the differences and what do you prefer to play as you're playing out there?
It just kind of tries to get the other team throw them off a little bit to get me open looks. And I really like the middle spot, and then the right side I like some there too.
So as you go up to hit the ball in the middle, what are you reading? What are you seeing with the other team?
Well, I'm trying to read the blockers and go around them and just look for openings if the right side or the left side is open, or if there's tip right behind them.
And as you go with your hitting, I see a lot more variety in your shots this year. Is that something that you've worked on and are trying to do out there?
Yeah, Jill Uppis comes and she helps us a lot. She'll work with the middles. So that's helped a lot this year.
Are you aware of how much you've improved from each year as it goes along, or does that not even factor into what you're doing?
Well, I can definitely tell that I've improved somewhat, but I feel with people telling me, they're oh my gosh, from last year to this year, it's such a difference. I don't think I realize it to the extent that it is.
2-3 zone defense. Peschel to Madison March, down low to Weir, gets to the basket, and she scores. Rebecca Weir with the basket. Now let's turn to basketball for just a second. Tell us about what you do out there on the basketball team.
Well, I play posts, and I don't know, do post moves or get the bounce pass layups that we normally do and try and shut down the other team's post as best as I can. Yeah,
I want to touch on defensively and not always just focus on offense, but defensively, you do a great job of just recognizing how to guard the other girl. What are you trying to do out there, or how do the coaches help you with your position and that sort of thing?
Well, they tell us if they're at a certain point, you should be either top side or bottom side, and then you just kind of try and push them off of the block as best as you can.
I'd also like to touch on too, just as I see you guys play, the pressure that is out there as you play. Now, granted, you have been through a lot through the years. How do you handle that? Who do you rely on? What is inside yourself to handle that kind of pressure, or do you rely on your teammates and your coaches?
Well, I normally try and just tell myself to just breathe, and Jim always tells us 3 deep breaths. That's his trademark kind of thing. And every time when I go back to serve, I always just take a deep breath and then I go. And my teammates also help me a lot too. Without them, I'd be a mess sometimes.
Because I'm just thinking back last year when you were playing at the state basketball tournament, you're walking out to Williams Arena, the lights are bright. How do you handle all of that?
I was kind of without my teammates, I would have been, oh gosh. They just help me, and it's our team just kind of sticks together like that. We help each other out.
Can you talk more about some of your teammates and who they are and what they bring to the team?
Morgan Gamrod's our outside hitter, and she just always brings a little extra spice, and she helps pick everyone up too. And then there's Jill, she's the setter. she communicates very well with everyone, and she makes sure that everyone, like, she, like, will make an extra effort to make sure everyone knows, like, it's fine, like, next play and stuff. And then Taylor also does the same thing. She's very, like, encouraging of everyone.
I think, too, watching Jill Klopp hockey out there, she's almost like a second coach, isn't she? Yep. In that sense that she has when you look at her, she just has great confidence, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm. She definitely knows how to help us out, and like her encouragingness.
And also, too, as you've grown up through the years, you've had a lot of good athletes out in front of you. Who are some of the girls that stand out for you?
Well, definitely my sister. Like, I got to play with her my sophomore year in both volleyball and basketball. And I always remember, like, watching her and being like, I want to be like that. That's what I want to be. And also Macy Weller, like, in volleyball, watching her, like, I remember just every time, left and right, she'd be getting kills. And I was like, that's what I want to be, and that's what I want to do.
And I don't want to lose focus on volleyball right now, but again, looking ahead to the basketball season, I see Sauk Center's already the preseason rated #1 in the state. All right.
I saw that.
Yeah. So teams are going to be coming after you. It's still a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And you wouldn't trade it for anything.
No, I'm honestly going to be so upset when our seasons are over next year.
What are the plans after high school?
I really don't know yet. I want to major in either like business or financing, but other than that, like with sports and stuff, I'm not really sure. I want to play, but I'm not sure like which one or both or so.
All right. Well, let me say this, that it's been fun up to this point, now that you're a senior, but some great entertainment out there, and you provide a lot of fun here for the fans as well for Sauk Center. So good luck the rest of the season, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, that's Becca Weir. She is our Sauk Center Athlete of the Week here on Mid-Minnesota Sports, presented by Diamond Point in Sauk Center.